Welcome back to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends read romance novels, mostly selected by you, and do a deep dive each week. The giggling, tangents, and ensuing bits are all on us. This week, our Patreon shoutout goes out to Ushma P. Ushma, you are a descendant and acolyte of Euphrosyne, one of the 3 Greek charities, or graces. They were responsible for spreading joy and cheer throughout the world, and Euphrosyne in particular was the embodiment of beauty and grace. Ushma, you bring the same enthusiasm and mirth to any task you take on. Like the graces, you know that a smile and positive attitude can make any situation, no matter how serious, more palatable, and your outlook is a ray of sunshine to anyone you meet. Do you govern your entire life with frivolity, though? Absolutely not. Instead, you know that the best launching pad for any interaction is kindness, and you will offer others the benefit of the doubt as much as humanly possible. However, you're also not one to let opportunities pass you by in favor of passing fancies, nor will you be anyone's doormat. Instead, you see every occasion as an opportunity for betterment, whether it's for yourself or the world at large. Your big heart and sunny disposition give you great power for good. And now, we're taking a bit of a departure from our regular lineup to bring you our recap of a movie. We watched The Christmas Wedding Planner on Netflix, and boy, do we have feelings about it. This thing is a work of art no matter how you look at it. So, get your 12 coffees and lobster dinner ready, everyone. And let's hope that neither kill you. Hi, Erin.
Hello, Melody.
How are you?
How are you? That's the question.
You know what?
Are you able to move your legs and arms? I just noticed you're wearing a winter coat inside.
Yeah. So, we're recording this on December 9th. It's going to come out on Christmas Eve. So I am like 2.5 weeks away from my due date, and I am constantly tired, and everything hurts because nature is the weirdest thing in the whole wide world. And instead of getting better at gestation after you've had one, your body just gets worse at it, which I think is stupid.
Well, is that true of everybody, or?
Yeah, so I've heard it's incredibly common that, don't get me wrong. There are some women who just like love pregnancy every time, all the time, whatever, or at least that's what they say out loud. But my midwives and a lot of other women who've had multiple children have told me the first time you get pregnant, a lot of times you don't feel when everything stretches because it's just like happening. And you're and you're distracted by other things. You're really excited about the magic that's happening in your body and all of that nonsense. This time, though, everything hurts when it stretches. And this has been happening throughout. I was like, why does the seam down the middle of my belly hurt? Oh, it's because that's what's happening right now. Like it's coming out of place. And now it's gotten to the point where I have so much pain below my belly button and like in my pelvis and on the interior of my thighs because we're getting down to D-Day. And the relaxin hormone has kicked into super high gear.
I love that it's called the relaxin hormone.
I know, right? It sounds amazing, doesn't it? It sounds like you're just like on your way to a Deathly Hallows concert. Nope. A Grateful Dead concert.
There you go. I'd go to a Deathly Hallows concert. I don't know what it would be, but
I would too.
I would go to it. Yeah.
I would definitely go to a Deathly Hallows concert. Yeah, it sounds like all of that, but really it's just your whole body being like, you need to open up everything. Everything needs to open up. It's bullshit. I have trouble walking. It's dumb.
So what we were going to do is we were going to do the wedding date for December 17th? Is that right?
Yeah.
And then we were going to do How the Duke Stole Christmas for Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
But now we're doing How the Duke Stole Christmas for the 17th, and we're doing this gem.
Oh, boy. Erin.
The Christmas wedding planner.
Nothing has brought me more joy this week than the 4 times that I watched the Christmas wedding planner.
4? Last time I checked in, you'd seen it 3.
Yeah, well, I decided to do a refresher this morning because one of the HBs, I did not stay away from the threads this time, or at least I mostly didn't. One of the HBs was like, the worst part about this movie is the music and sound effects. And I was like, oh, I don't even notice those things. Like, I am the perfect viewer.
Nope. I've got you fine, because look at this.
Yeah.
I've got notes.
Oh, I've
for
got
the first
4
time
pages of notes
ever in history. And my 5th note is the music and sound effects in this thing are the worst part. Absolutely ridiculous. So I had that on lock.
All right, perfect.
I think I wrote that same note maybe 10 times throughout the thing. I was just like, the music is the worst fucking part of this thing. Hands down.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, because the attempt at face acting is definitely the worst part. Not to mention that as the person that, usually edits the podcast, I felt really bad for the editors and like the director and everything, because when we lag, I can just cut those pauses right out and the listener never knows. But with this thing, their timing was always so slow and
Don't
off.
you think that's kind of on purpose though? Here's what I have a disclaimer. I have a Christmas wedding planner disclaimer.
Here we go.
In the way that I genuinely love romance novels, even though they are shit on by society.
Sure.
I genuinely love Hallmark and Lifetime Christmas movies, even though they are shit on by society. I'm not saying they're the same thing, but I have a genuine love because I feel like the Lifetime movies and the Hallmark movies have heart to them, and they are authentically trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't watch Jingle Bell, which is one of the ones that I watched this year.
Oh.
Tatiana Ali. I don't watch that and think, oh, they're trying to make a bad movie. No, they're trying to make a good movie with soul and heart and all of those things.
But that's what's goddamn remarkable about them.
I think this is my disclaimer. I think Netflix is trying to make bad movies to, in some ways, poke fun and kind of shit on the Christmas holiday.
Oh,
that's
really?
what I think. Like, yeah, I didn't think so when I watched The Christmas Prince or the Switcheroo, the Princess Switcheroo.
Yeah.
Which is not the name of it, but you guys know what's up.
Yeah.
But I felt it when watching The Christmas Wedding Planner. I'm like, they are deliberately trying to make a crappy movie so that people will laugh at it and it will create buzz and news and stuff. Because I can't imagine a situation where Netflix makes this movie and tried. I can't.
Is Netflix the one who did it?
I don't know.
think they are.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they are. The production company is something, just amazing. Hold on. I have to find it. Because you can, maybe Netflix now has a deal with Hulu, but you can find this streaming on multiple platforms. This is not a Netflix original.
Maybe that's not the case, but I was about halfway through this when I was like, you know what? I think they're yucking on my yums. I think they're saying that,
How dare they?
Netflix is like, oh, we're self-aware. We're in on this joke. And I want to be like, it's not a joke. It's something I love.
Okay. No, I hear you. I didn't get that. I didn't get that vibe at all. I just thought that, they really just missed every mark. And that is something literally that I love.
Every mark.
Every single one.
I am a fan of crappy movies. The king of which is Killing Me Softly, starring Heather Graham and Joseph Fiennes.
Oh, yeah.
We still need to do a Patreon about it. It's my favorite movie, guys. It's an erotic thriller about a celebrity mountaineer, and it's incredible. It's incredible. It is.
There are things done with silk scarves that just...
No, you know what? The silk scarves part of that movie is one of the more normal parts of that movie. Like Heather Graham wearing a kimono for no reason, things that are done with flares in that movie. The fact that she gets married in a full-length chunky crocheted / knit wedding gown. And then immediately after the wedding, just pulls it off from the seam all the way over her head and is completely naked underneath. Like, there are so many things. Like,
yeah, I can't wait to do a Patreon episode about that.
Oh, God, I love that movie.
Here's my thing. I love Hallmark and Lifetime Christmas movies in the way that I thought I used to love romance novels.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a genuine love, you guys. I'm sorry. It's not. Like, I watched The Spirit of Christmas this week, and it was too good a movie to be thoroughly enjoyable.
Oh,
like,
no.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I enjoyed this viewing experience. But I wasn't sitting on my couch with like a platter of brownies cackling my face off, which is what I want in a Christmas Hallmark movie experience.
It depends on the movie. It really depends on the movie. Because, like, there was one that I kind of live blogged on the cult, not meaning to. I was just videotaping clips, and then they just kept getting better and better. So I kept videotaping more and more of them. Yeah. Where the hero had a painting, and, like, the story centered around this painting, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And I mean that what I said, because they clearly had to keep redoing this painting throughout production, and they just got lazier and lazier the more times they did it. That one I enjoyed in an ironic way, but I have genuinely enjoyed, like, if there's a time travel element, I'm in for a genuine watch of a Lifetime Christmas movie. If somebody's if there are ghosts of Christmas present and past, I'm there for it. And that's an alarming number of them.
No, totally. I mean, and I like those too, but they never make my Hall of Fame in the way that Christmas Wedding Planner is going to make my Hall of Fame.
I watched the Holiday Calendar, which is another one of the Netflix ones, and I genuinely enjoyed the Holiday Calendar. There was nothing to laugh at there.
What? Every single character was irredeemable. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
We have to do a Patreon episode about Holiday Calendar because I have things to say. Nobody.
I genuinely enjoyed it.
Every single person in that movie is awful. I'm
not saying it's a perfect movie.
No, the one person you're supposed to root for is so terrible.
Why?
She is awful. I can't even. I'm not going to give it away now.
Okay,
but you'll get all
We're doing this movie.
Hilarious opinions. Okay.
We're doing the Christmas Wedding Planner.
Can I just say that I need to give a big shout out to Brain Power Studios who brought us the Christmas Wedding Planner.
All right, maybe Netflix just bought it. I take back my disclaimer if that's not the case. I thought they were trolling us.
No, I'm not saying Brain Power Studios isn't trolling us. I'm just saying that Netflix is not.
Fair. Okay.
Okay. All right. So we have Kelsey and Connor, the two people who have never been less suited for their professions than anybody on the face of the planet. All right. So it starts off with this sweeping monologue about how Kelsey has the best job in the whole wide world, and starry-eyed couples come to her because they just want to
She doesn't even have this job. She's planning her first fucking wedding.
Thank you.
This is her first wedding.
Thank you. No couples have come to you.
She has 0 couples because the first wedding you're planning is your cousin. And by the way, I had to rewind roughly 15 times to figure out the relationship between Kelsey and Emily. I was trying to watch this thing while folding clothes, and I was like, sisters? No, best friends. No cousins? No sisters. No best friends. And I had to go back to the beginning, and you guys know how much I hate this, to that opening monologue to hear her say, she's my cousin, but she's the closest thing I have to a sister and more like a best friend. And I'm like, okay, so all three.
But also, none of that is true. And we'll get to that too. The only thing that's true about that is
they
a cousin.
Literally have never met. Like, they know 0 things about each other. Yes. Nothing. Like, I don't think these two, they're supposed to be sisters, best friends, and cousins. I don't think at any point in the movie they make eye contact.
Not to mention that I don't think they've spoken in the past 12 years.
Or ever.
Because Kelsey has no idea about key details.
Anything.
Of her personality, of her history, of her preferences. Like, nothing.
No,
it is
nothing.
So good. Okay. So she's at a coffee shop. She's running late to a party that she's throwing.
First.
Okay,
First. Yeah. the camera zeroes in on a beautiful blonde lady walking during this monologue.
She's so glamorous.
And then she's a glamorous blonde who's walking. I love your coffee mug, says frack on it. Anyway, she's walking. Then a brunette who's also very beautiful and very glamorous bumps into this blonde and like drops all her shit. I don't remember what she drops. A bunch of stuff.
Nobody cares.
And then she's like, that's not me. That's me, the clumsy one. That's me. And I'm like, it's the same thing with brown hair.
Yeah, the hot mess over there, quote unquote, that looks totally put together and great.
The most beautiful, shiningest hair, the most flawless makeup.
It's everything about her is coiffed. All right.
Perfect.
So,
all right, so she's at a coffee shop.
Let's do a quick setup beforehand because this is crucial in my humble opinion. She's supposed to be throwing a Christmas Eve wedding for her cousin, sister, best friend. And
we're like maybe 2-3 weeks out, I would say.
I think we're about a week and a half out.
No.
Which makes no sense.
I'm just ripping up these notes. That makes it so much worse than I thought that it was.
I think it's like a week and a half out, which makes... Don't do it. You're a dick.
Done.
Okay. All right. So she gets a text from her aunt. And the text says, "You're late. Just because we're family doesn't mean I don't expect your full attention on this wedding." Which I'm like, yeah, Obvi, it's her first job. Don't you think?
Yeah. And it is a job. And apparently the whole family's like super duper rich. This is the wedding of the century or whatever that she's planning. There's like press involved. Right. I guess. So
Christmas, wait, what is it? Weddingsdujour.com is
no, that's not real. I missed that. I missed that. Christmasweddingsdujour.com.
This is why I watched this beautiful, beautiful experience 4 times. No. Count them. 4. Okay. So, all right. So she bumps into a handsome man. And I mean, sure, okay, a quote unquote handsome man. Yeah,
he's got a lot of face.
He's got a lot of brow.
There's a lot of face.
Yeah, a lot of happening.
You know what? I like a lot of brow.
You do.
I like a David Boreanaz. However, just a very malleable, very expressive face that did a lot of very unattractive things throughout this whole film that I just could not get behind. I'm like, just look at her without like mugging. If you could just not be like pulling faces the whole time. I felt nothing for this man. 0 things.
No, me neither. So they bump into each other and then she's like, "Oh, this is a distraction. I must stay away from distractions because I have a week and a half to plan the wedding of the century, which I haven't started yet." Okay, good.
Yeah, fair. Get his number, call him in 2 weeks. I don't understand.
Right. So she's like, "Oh, you can go ahead of me," even though she is late to a party she is throwing. Yeah. Apparently. Fine.
Which is, what, an engagement party a week before the wedding?
Yes. This is what makes no sense. Even like 2 or 3 weeks doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because isn't the point of an engagement party to like do it right after you get it? Maybe that's my question. My question is, did they get engaged 3 weeks ago and they decided that Christmas Eve was it? But we don't get any of that backstory.
No.
Nobody cares about these rich fucks.
Backstory. Okay. We don't even have story. We don't. Let alone backstory.
We do not have story. Okay.
Okay.
So he gets up to the counter, and this is honestly an unanswered question that I need us to brainstorm about. Who is he buying all of these coffees for?
So he gets up to the counter, and he gets like 15 coffees, a bunch of pastries.
Tunzo muffins, and then 1 blueberry scone.
One
the famousest blueberry scone.
This coffee shop has the best blueberry scones in Mapletown, Christmasville.
Yes.
That have ever been made. Have you ever heard of a famous blueberry scone? Ever?
Not. Never.
This took me back to whatever. What was the one where she threw all the scones? It was the one with the farmer and the eggs.
Yeah, the eggs.
What
and the
was
farmer.
that? It was
Nobody
like
knows.
fall
after we fall.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is the title had nothing to do with the book whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one had something like the coffee shops renamed all their scones to be pissed off heiresses or whatever. I'm like, what is this world people live in where scones are famous? I need to know. I need to know what state this is. Connecticut? Probably.
I mean, and I am a person who used to love a blueberry scone, but I've never had a famous one.
Love a blueberry scone. No, but it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a staple. Know what?
There was a scone that was an important scone to me.
Tell me everything.
Bing boom bong. Pastries with Erin.
Yeah,
important scones.
Culture pastries.
I'm about to put some people on blast. All right. There is a fried chicken place in Anchorage that is an institution called the Lucky Wishbone.
Okay.
And it makes the best fried chicken in the world.
The world.
And pretty good hamburgers. And they have been there since before Alaska was a state, since World War II. And they were homesteaders that opened this place, like very classic, great story. Institution. Yeah. All right. Yes. And then a new local bakery paired with them. Like a organic sort of like rustic bakery paired with them.
They're trying to update a little bit, update the institution. Sure, I like it.
They're their own thing. They're their own thing. It's just they decided, this bakery, that they're going to get the chicken at the end of the day that's unsold, and they're going to make Lucky Wish scones with the fried chicken in them and honey. Oh. It was the best thing that I had ever eaten in my life. One day a week, and they would sell out every day, and you had to get there early. And then they discontinued the Lucky Wish scones because they decided to make their bakery entirely organic, and that chicken was the only thing that wasn't organic.
How dare you? Make an exception. You've got something working here. Abandon your principles.
Yes.
Honestly. Yes. Or just like get some organic chicken. Yeah. Hand it to them and be like, can you make us some fried chicken with this organic chicken? And then make me my goddamn Lucky Wish scone. Think outside the box.
The scones.
Is all I'm saying.
How
dare they?
Yes.
I boycott them forever.
Yeah,
HBs never go there.
But this scone is just a regular blueberry scone.
It's just a blueberry scone. Okay.
Anyway, all right. So he gets all this stuff. She's frustrated because she was just going to get a coffee and a scone, blueberry scone.
I think just the scone. She wasn't even there for coffee.
God, what a moron.
Also, why wasn't she there 2 hours early? Why didn't she pre-order the scone? Why didn't I have a question for everyone. This is a brunch party, which brunch engagement party, sure.
Why didn't she have the place cater the brunch party with the scones?
Yeah. I would ask. Okay. So she gets up to the counter. And she's like, I need that blueberry scone. And the guy is like,
no more scones.
No more scones. And he identifies the hero as a sexy man for her. Did you remember that?
I don't remember that.
He says the phrase, oh no, I sold the last one to that handsome gentleman over there.
God. And then it clips probably to his face and he's going, am I handsome? Like, oh God, just the mugging.
Okay.
All right.
So then she's like, I am a fierce warrior. And her fierce warrior literally,
she says this.
Yeah, she literally, I'm sorry. Yeah. That is not me making a funny. And then her fierce warrior theme comes on, which I noticed on my fourth viewing.
Yes.
There is a theme.
Yes.
It's very sort of bullfighter, which I thought was hilarious. Because this is the lily whitest movie. Like, they got some token people in there, but they don't actually get names.
No, they don't have names.
It's horrifying.
We'll get there.
We will. She walks over and she's like, I need that scone. I will give you $7 and a mystery gift card, and I need it right now. And he's like,
No. First she says, I'll pay you for the scone. He says no. Then she says, I'll pay you triple for the scone. Triple scone worth. And then he says no. And then she says,
a bear claw moment?
Yes. She's bing boom bong, bear claw moments with Erin. So second she offers triple. Third, she says, okay, I'll give you everything in my wallet, which is $7 and a gift card.
Yeah.
Honey, scone
darling.
times 3 is
like
more than
$12
$7.
at least.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
So, of course, he turns down the third offer because she's bad at negotiating.
Right. She's bad at everything. All right. So he's like, gotta go, gotta jet, see you never. And then now let's review, everyone. This is the most important event of her career thus far because it is her first one.
Mm-hmm.
This is a party she is throwing, and she's late. And she doesn't have her suck-up scone because we find out later it was for her aunt.
Right.
So
but
then...
May I interject? She shows up this party not in a raw silk butter scotch colored suit. However, from the coffee shop to the party, she has tied around her neck like a weird strip of sheer ribbon in a bow.
Was that not there before? She wasn't a Christmas present at the coffee shop?
I don't believe so. I didn't rewind it, but I remembered when she walked into the party, I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, she's got a little holiday choker on.
But it's not.
She's a
it's
little
not
present.
Like, it's not pretty. It's like you took it off of a gift wrapped box and then you just tied it around your neck. It's like what you wear at Christmas Eve because it was on your present. Ha ha ha. That's what she wore to this thing.
Right. So her employer, who is also the aunt she's terrified of, has already
raised her.
Also raised her. Has already berated her via text message.
Right.
Now, this added ribbon situation is hilarious to me because I was already going to point out that the party she is, in fact, already late for. We then watch her saunter up the stairs in the most casual way possible, stand in front of the front door in order to text a mystery person about how she's fucking up her whole life. And this stream of texts is an email that takes no less than 45 seconds. And it's all about how she's ruining her life, how she's going to buy cats, and she's going to spend the rest of her life purchasing late night items on TV, which also, like, the level of privilege in this movie, because she's fucking up her work job. Yeah. How is she going to afford all of the QVC items is my question. What is she going to be feeding the cats?
Getting a lot of cats and like buying things from QVC is a symptom of loneliness, not poverty, which I feel like this movie confused.
It's amazing. And then apparently she also had time to tie a little ribbon around her neck. It's so great.
That might have been, I don't know. If she had it on at the coffee shop, I didn't notice, but I definitely noticed when she walked into this party.
That's Bible in my brain now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's canon. That's Christmas wedding planner canon.
That's correct. So then.
All right.
The party happens. She walks in. We meet the gorgeous, rich, kind.
My God. This aunt, you guys, has the weirdest shit on her head every time we see her.
Every time. She's
this
a Muffy.
First time is just like
after
a
we
weird
reference.
Black blob with like some feathers on it. But she's also wearing like a sleeveless thing. Like nothing about her says Christmas party. It's very weird. And also like nothing about her said wealthy to me either.
And nothing about her said morning Christmas party.
Oh,
remember,
yeah. I didn't even think about that. It's brunch time.
Event.
Yeah.
Don't worry, though, guys, because Emily is wearing a crown. She will be wearing a crown in 75%
the entire time
of the scenes we meet her in.
I feel like originally Emily was a princess, and then this was redubbed to be something different because she wore a tiara in every scene.
She did. Okay. But she and her mom love a headband, and her mom's usually has some sort of inappropriate fascinator situation, and hers are usually crowns. So she tells her to introduce her because she wants to make an entrance. And then we also find out that we have this scene with the aunt where the aunt is like, you're fucking up everything, but don't worry, I brought press. So impress them and your business will be great.
And press is so Christmas weddings du jour.
I think it's just weddingsdujour.com or something.
All right, that really is a little bit better.
Christmas weddings dujour.com.
DeJour.biz. .biz. If we're going to do this, it's going to be .vodka. All right. Okay. All right.
So then this is where she describes her as the closest thing she's ever had to a sister.
And they like barely greet each other. Like the coldest. Like so I don't even know if they do greet each other. It's very cold between the two of them.
Yeah. And then the aunt is like, don't worry, somebody else brought a scone. And also the scone bringer is the biggest threat to your business that has ever happened.
He is over there talking to Emily the princess.
He's also not holding any coffee. Here's what I'm wondering.
Who was the coffee for? Who was the coffee for?
Here's my theory. Can I tell you what my theory is?
It's going to be smarter than the movie. I'll tell you that.
He did. He is just a good enough private investigator to know that Kelsey will have fucked up the catering. So he decided to cater it on his own.
I don't know. It's so weird. He brought 12 coffees to a catered party and also a lot of muffins and stuff.
Oh my God. It's amazing. And he doesn't have a team.
No.
There's no team of techies in the back of his van. Because, don't worry, guys. He has a van. He has a kid toucher
private investigator van. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think knowing this guy, I think he may have bought all that stuff just to piss her off and then like dumped it in the snow outside and was like, ha 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 ha, I made her wait 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's so true.
That's my theory.
All right. So the biggest threat ever, because this dude is the bride's ex, the ex of the ages.
Okay. I have to. So he's talking to Emily and then Kelsey is talking with her aunt and Kelsey's like, who is that guy? And the aunt's like, he might be here to ruin the wedding. He might be here to destroy our family fortune. He might be the biggest threat to your business that there's ever been. It's the weirdest, most cryptic thing that's ever been. And Kelsey asks for no follow-up on that. Like, suddenly it just becomes very dark and is like, oh, that man? He may destroy all of our happiness and take all of our money. And Kelsey doesn't say, what now?
What?
Wait, explain that. I don't understand what you're talking about. How might he ruined the wedding? I don't understand. And then she's like, oh, he's Emily's ex. And instead of like asking for any questions or anything, she just storms up to them. Well, super weird.
I figured, so at this point in the movie, I was like, oh, okay, she knows this ex. This ex is something that she has a reference point for. She has seen an old picture and she couldn't update his face in her brain. Maybe she, knows the full story. I was giving this character so much credit.
She has no idea who the one man is that broke Emily's heart in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
Because they've been BFFs since childhood. So it's not even like, oh, this was before she knew her or whatever.
They lived together while her mom was sick.
So...
Okay. So, all right. Then her fierce warrior music comes on again and she stomps up to Connor and she's like, you need to go because you are here to ruin everything. And he goes, you don't have to worry about anything with Emily and I, but I can't say that the wedding won't be ruined. And then
it's so weird and cryptic.
I know. And then he just fucks off. He just bounces.
It made me think like by the end when we know all.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened was he basically ghosted her at some point during the relationship. Just all of a sudden left. And she had no explanation, no reason for it, broke her heart. Then sometime afterwards, he came back into her life and they became friends. And now he's her friend that she actually invited to her engagement party.
Right.
Sure. Don't you think she got an explanation from him to become her friend?
Oh, apparently not.
No, apparently not, because no one in this family knows why he ghosted her. So she was just like, you know what, I forgive you. I don't need to know why you left. No, that's not possible. That's not how humans work.
What? That's not how interpersonal relationships generally function, Erin?
No. Apparently they're best friends now, but they have not talked about the reason they stopped being the love of each other's life.
Yeah, yeah. So Kelsey runs after him and jumps into his car, which I thought was actually a pretty baller move. And the look, like the casual mugging that he was doing right before she jumped in was so hilarious.
When
Erin,
these characters try to look casual, it is the weird. They do the weirdest things. None of them have any idea what to do with their hands at any moment.
I think he's like shaping an eyebrow or something with his index finger. Like it is so good.
That's why I thought we were being trolled, because a lot of these characters are doing like very classic bad high school play moves. I felt like throughout the whole thing. And I'm like, this has got to be on purpose, because
it felt so genuine in my heart.
It's like when comedians make fun of bad high school theater. Okay.
I can't give these people that much credit. I can't do it.
All right. So he's so like, good. He's like, okay, I'm a private investigator.
Yeah.
And I'm investigating the fiance of Emily.
Dun, dun, dun.
For reasons. And doesn't really say, he's like, maybe he's not so innocent as you think. And I'm like, what?
Maybe he's not such a good guy.
Like, does the family not know that he's a private investigator, or do they? Because they do, but Emily doesn't. But
Emily knows literally nothing about him. He showed up one day.
Emily knows literally nothing.
Nothing.
Boop.
Nothing.
Period. Nothing. She knows tiaras. She knows which wedding dress she wants to wear.
Does. That's literally it.
The end.
Later on, she makes the declaration that she likes lemon cakes. Like, these are the decisions that Emily is capable
Everybody
of,
likes
apparently.
lemon cakes. I'm sorry. HBs, if you don't like lemon cakes, send us an email. 0 emails. We're never going to get one. Everyone likes lemon cakes.
Okay. So he's like, Kelsey says, all right, who hired you? And he goes, PI code of conduct. I can't tell you that.
That's not a thing.
And then he mugs again. Oh, yeah,
everyone is super weird. And she pauses during this conversation to send another text to her mystery person that is roughly 5,000 words.
Does she?
I think so, or it's right after this.
It's afterwards. No, the thing she does during this interaction is amazing. Because she tells him he's out of luck, bucko. And then her inner monologue literally says, tell me I didn't just say bucko. And during that act, I mean, I said that too fast. During that, let's say 15-second phrase, hold on, what are my notes? It says, the actress actually pauses her speech to fully shifty-eyed dog do a complete 360 eye roll and visibly cringe. Like, those things happen in succession on her face while the inner monologue is going. And it is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in my life. And then, and meanwhile, the dude does not react to this weirdness at all. He acts like this is the most normal thing that anybody's ever done in front of him.
I think it's possible. These two have so little reaction to each other and so little chemistry with each other.
They were never in the same room?
I think it's possible they were never in the same room. And they were just superimposed in.
Yeah.
I think that's possible.
That the two actors couldn't stand each other, and beautiful, beautiful Brain Power Studios was like, well, we have to have them. So they will never be in the same room. I'm into it. All right. So then he's like, you should help me, because if you want to save this wedding, then you should be there to protect it. Like, basically, he invites her to sabotage his PI work without realizing, and without her realizing that that's an opportunity she could have right now.
Right.
Like, it's the weirdest thing. Okay, so then she's like, I'm not helping you ruin this wedding. This is my ticket to the big times. And and she flounces off. And after she flounces off, and then he goes, my home base is this restaurant called George's. So you can find me there anytime.
Anytime. Literally anytime. He lives at George's.
At George's. Yeah. No, he doesn't go other places, which I thought a PI would do.
Yes.
But apparently not. Okay. So then the next scene, you guys, is the wedding dress fitting. And it's not even the fitting.
A week? No, she's got to pick one.
She's picking
a week before
a wedding dress.
The wedding on Christmas.
I don't know how this works.
Because I feel like a Christmas wedding you would have to do even more in advance than a regular wedding, because people, like
take off work
and stuff.
Or something.
Yeah, and go out of town.
Yeah, they celebrate with their families?
Yeah.
No, not.
My wedding planner, currently out of town for the month. That's what happens. Like, people spend time with their families, not in Maryville, Christmas Mapletown. Where are they? Do they say where they are?
They're in Maryville, Christmas Mapletown.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I just thought, okay.
Obviously.
Okay.
Wait, but Erin, did you
bridesmaids?
clock? No, before the bridesmaids. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Did you clock the abomination in the corner?
What? Was it?
My God, there is a set piece in this scene that I literally peed myself a little bit. And like, the baby had moved too.
You're pretty pregnant.
But I laughed so hard that I peed. Okay. It is this like mannequin. It's like this frame, this gold frame mannequin situation. And then it's draped with blue fabric.
No.
It's got gold wings on it. It's like a cherub angel, Victoria's Secret all meshed together in one set piece Christmas decor in this supposedly high-end wedding dress boutique. I will post pictures. It is
good. I'm glad because I missed it. It sounds like what the heroine Annabelle in Match Me If You Can had in her bedroom, only less creepy.
Yes,
because she had a mannequin just draped in old lady lace to remember her grandmother by.
Yeah, no. This is both innocent and super sexy. You know what I'm saying? No. This is like Nativity meets Victoria's Secret. It's everything you want for Christmas.
Innocent and super sexy. There's nothing worse.
Okay. So now we meet the bridesmaids who never get names. Their names are Jealous, Bitter, and Clumsy.
All right. So, so at first we meet, I think, Jealous.
Yes.
And she's jealous. Bitter one comes in. Bitter one had a divorce. Then Clumsy one trips into the room and spills her coffee and is like, I'm so sorry.
She has icing on her hands when she shakes their hands. She literally says, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's icing. I had a cupcake in the car.
Uh-huh.
It's incredible. Okay.
So Jealous and the Clumsy one, they are women of color. And that is the end of all diversity in the movie.
That is your POC representation.
I just say about the Clumsy one? She's never clumsy again. That is it. Period. Never again.
Yeah, in this
is
one
she
scene,
clumsy?
She's clumsy 2 times. She also throws cookies on another, which is the most staged, hilarious, not accident that's ever happened.
In the background of many scenes from here on out. Like, we have like a party beforehand. And I know she could have been tripping all over the place or like falling into things in the background. Nope, not. The clumsy bridesmaid, guys, makes it down the aisle without a fucking hitch.
Just fine, like, wearing heels.
Like, why introduce her as the clumsy bridesmaid and then have her totally polished and put together for the entire... It's like they forgot.
They did. They forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so good. Okay.
And when we say they don't get names, I mean, if you look up the IMDb for this movie, her name is Clumsy Bridesmaid.
Yeah.
So
it's incredible. This is where I got really confused about the family tree, which doesn't actually matter. I just want it noted for the record that I don't know how these people are related.
I think I get it. So I'm here for you. Maybe.
I don't think you do. I don't feel like you do.
Okay.
Because I don't think they know, but I have utter faith in you. Okay. I'm just saying that this is the Wilson dress. Both of their last names are Wilson, which in this incredibly like upper crust sort of patriarchal situation, nobody's keeping their maiden names. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Which leads me to believe that they are in fact related through Emily's dad, who is now deceased.
Sure.
Why is it then important for her mom, now that the dad is dead, why is it important to the mom that she wear this Wilson dress from a family she doesn't belong to? Why is that?
See, I just assumed
why
that
would
the
she
aunt
have worn why would she have worn the Wilson dress when it is not her family? She's marrying into this family.
Right.
It's
That's
not
what
her
I was
mother's.
thinking.
Really? Do people do that? HBs, email us.
No,
I don't know anything about wedding traditions.
I don't know that people do anything that happens in this movie. Like, literally nothing. I don't think people walk like that. I don't think people talk to each other in this way. However, I cannot believe I'm defending this movie. I can see a situation where a woman marries into a very certain type of family and is important for her to wear the dress and for the family to be like, you can wear the dress, you know?
I do see that. Yes.
In like a crazy rich Asians way, you know?
Maybe. But also later on when we know all, we find out that her mom, like they move in when her mom is sick, and the uncle is the one who thought it was a total imposition, and the aunt is the one who wanted them there, which seems much more unlikely if they are not actually related.
I don't know.
Anyway, I don't know how they're
related, know.
But they are cousins. All right. So, there is a traditional wedding dress then she's like, but I want to wear this high-low.
I would like to wear the most beautiful dress I've ever seen, the most modernist, the most fashion-forward, party in the front, train in the back.
It's strapless.
Upholstery, but then there's a shrug. It really does look like...
But it's not a shrug.
It is a shrug.
No, is it really? Because I thought a shrug had to cover your shoulders. This thing is literally just the width of a ferret over their neck, and then their whole back is exposed.
Yeah.
On every single one.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
Amazing. It's this fur thing that is supposed to be a shrug, but shows your shoulder blades in a winter wedding.
Again,
is
just
that how that works?
The high-low component of this thing was just all I could see. And the material, the fabric
the gold
used
upholstery
was so thick. It was the thickest curtain material there's ever been. And so stiff and so shiny. It was a lot. It was a lot. And so she wants to wear this dress. So then Kelsey has to text, I don't know, the aunt or somebody and say, we're going to keep the other one as a backup just in case, but we're going to wear this dress. Yeah. And the aunt isn't pissed at all, which is crazy.
No. This is also where Jealous Bridemaid becomes handy, because she apparently knows the whole story of Connor and Emily in a way that her sister and best friend never knew.
Has no idea. No.
She
all
literally
the bridesmaids
says the
know
phrase,
about it.
Yeah, and she literally says the phrase, "Oh my God, poor Emily. I had no idea."
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay. All right. So then the fiance shows up, and it is
fiance
weird,
not cute. Not cute.
A, not cute. B, incredibly smarmy. He literally goes, "Aw," when he's giving them presents.
When he walks around, there's like music that's like
no,
like
really?
hi-hat. Yes, I heard it twice.
Oh my God.
It's like a weird little slime monster theme. like a little bit like a sneaky one. But it's not every time.
Oh, I
like
love
just
it.
like a little bit of like
Oh, I like it.
I can't do it.
You
You guys, I can't do music very good. You are an
excellent
cut that.
musician.
I'm not good at humming
it's
things.
Not going to happen. So it's weird because he's like, I just want to keep my girls happy. It's
God, it's so
in Match
creepy.
Me If You Can. Yeah, it's like in Match Me If You Can, where one of them is like, "Can I borrow your husband for the night?"
Yeah.
I mean, even the whole "I got to keep my girl happy" it can toe the line really easily. But anyway,
so Kelsey gets a call from the photographer.
No, the caterer.
No, it's photographer.
No, it's
I've
caterer.
written on my
thing. Talk about lobsters.
It's photographer.
No, it's not. It is the caterer, because that becomes important when Joey Fatone comes onto the screen.
All right,
Erin.
fine. Okay, all right, fine.
4 times.
Okay. Sorry. I think HB's, this is Erin. I really think it's the photographer, because I wrote down photographer. Quit. Don't tell.
Then what do they talk about? Tell me.
I don't.
What's the content of their conversation?
Photography.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Are they photographing lobsters?
They're just like lenses, and they're like they're flash bulbs, and she's just like,
what happened?
Do you have enough videos?
What did they talk about shipping in, Erin?
They mostly film.
So the caterer calls, and she's like, "All right, Marco, let me know. Is it going to kill me to fly in these lobsters?" Because she is talking to Marco the caterer. And then she finds out.
Have you not heard of the new Nikon lobster? It's the hottest camera of the season.
Okay. She finds out that the caterer and his wife are breaking up, and that he has to pull out of the wedding a week before it happens. She's also still discussing the menu with the caterer a week before the wedding, which you're like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even have a traditional wedding, and none of this makes sense to me.
While she's talking to the caterer, she sees through a crack in the door, groom guy, whose name I don't remember, is talking to dress boutique lady. And he's like,
sexy lady.
And she's very sexy, you guys. And he's like touching her hair And he's like, nah.
He's
and they're
whispering
like,
in her ear.
And
he's
then
writing things in her book.
Yeah, during the conversation, Kelsey loudly yells, "You're cheating!"
Which A, he doesn't hear, and then B, she has to talk to the caterer about how, like, they made a deal, so him backing out on her is cheating.
Cheating.
What?
And so he writes something in the dress lady's diary and then is
Which
like,
I wish was a euphemism. It is not.
And then leaves. So then Kelsey goes out there and tries to, like, look in her diary to see what he wrote, and she doesn't get... You guys... She moves with zero confidence to get this diary. You gotta do it with confidence. Yeah. So she doesn't get to see.
Also, you need to send dress girl back to go see Kelsey. Why wasn't she like, Kelsey wants to see you in the fitting room? That would have been a total what? Well,
also, if she's trying to be sneaky, the dress lady, when Kelsey comes out, the dress lady is like, "Did you see anything you liked?" And Kelsey's like, "I should be asking you that."
Yeah.
And that line reading was spot fucking on, you guys. That's exactly how she says it.
Though.
I should be asking. Oh, I thought she said it out loud.
She didn't.
I was folding clothes. I probably was looking down.
It was one of those moments where her face was saying everything that her inner monologue does. And then she had to... Oh, yeah. And then she had to...
Sorry, I'm doing the faces.
Redo her face to be, like, polite for the next sentence.
Yeah.
It's a work of goddamn glory. Okay. So, basically, this sets up this whole situation because the shop girl gets... Like I said, she could have just said, "Kelsey wants to see you in the fitting room." Does not say that. Instead, she's like, "Are those cookies from the same vendor that Emily is getting her wedding cake from? Okay, great. Because I'm going to set up an elaborate ruse where
this plan is incredible.
Bonkers town." She sets up a private baking lesson so that Emily can make her first ever attempt at baking ? Gingerbreads.
Because she knows that, so since she saw that at the dress place they had the cookies, she believes, with no confirmation, that the dress lady picks up those cookies every morning from the bakery. Or no, the bakery actually sends them. So she's got to, 100%. The bakery sends them down to that shop every morning. So she set up in the morning time this cooking class and then told the baker that he needs to call the dress lady shop and say that they actually need to pick them up today because he's running a little late and doesn't have them done. So it's several levels.
It is so many levels. And then she has to not only make sure that everyone is distracted, including but not limited to her cousin, who is apparently going to be feeding her first ever attempt at baking to senators who are coming to her reception.
Yes.
These are all excellent
I think
choices.
It's just a senator because they keep referencing the senator that will be there.
Okay. Yes.
I like to think it's a state senator. Anyway, So she has to make sure that the dress lady comes to pick up the cookies. Then she's got to figure out a way to get the dress lady away from her diary, which she assumes that she's going to bring. Are you going to bring your diary?
Apparently she brings it everywhere. I think it might be her bullet journal ?
I don't know. But she's got to figure out a way to get her away from the diary and then find the page and then see what he wrote in it.
And meanwhile, none of this is at all mentioning one of the great standouts of the film, Charles the Depressed Baker. Like, Charles the Depressed Baker
is either the best or the worst actor in the history of time.
Yeah.
I can't decide whether he's bad or good. He's a lot.
I don't think there's a decision to be made, Erin. I think
deciding
you just have to
whether
embrace
this Baker
all of your
is
feelings.
bad or good. Deciding whether he is good at acting is like deciding whether Mastered by Her Mates is a good book. Did I love it? Yes. Is it good? I don't know.
We don't know.
Would I read/watch him act, read that book /watch him act a million times? Yes. Yeah. I love this man like I love that book, but I'm not sure that he's good. He is able, you know what? He's good. He's able to take roughly maybe like 2 solid minutes to tie a bow on cookies to distract, to like, it would be hard as an actor to try to tie a bow for 2 minutes. So you know what? I'm going to give it to him.
And recount spatulas in a way that is believable to me.
Incredible.
And I don't know who can do that other than Charles the Depressed Baker.
What is it's Charles? His name is Charles?
I think it's Sharl. Yeah.
Charles.
And he is a delight from start to finish.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's very upset about having to lie in a way that like gives him actual hives. You know what? Do you think he was an actual baker that they just like ambushed? And that's how he was able to just be so nervous and confused for the whole scene?
I think maybe. I don't know.
All
okay,
right.
so the next scene is... she finds... Sorry.
So she distracts. So she gets the bride's the wedding planner, wedding dress lady outside. Oh no, she just had to take a call, so she just voluntarily goes outside. Now she must get rid of Emily. So what she does,
has to physically asult her cousin, best friend's sister.
Is she just throws flour on her, and she's like, "Oh, you better go wash up," like, as if they're not at a baking lesson.
And she didn't invite Clumsy Bridesmaid. This would have been a perfect time to just let Clumsy Bridesmaid do her best.
No,
she can't do it. Okay.
No.
So she finds the book, she finds the page, and it says, "Thanks for the hookup, gorgeous. Dinner at Turbo's on Wednesday."
My God. Oh my God. He is cheating.
He is
the
hooking up with
gown
sexy wedding lady.
How dare he? Can you imagine a situation where you're sleeping with somebody and then you in front of them open up their diary and write down "thanks for the hookup dinner" when you're actually having a oral conversation out loud with no one else in the room, and you write down "dinner at whatever" and then you close the book and walk out? That's so weird. Why wouldn't you just be like, "Hey, thanks for the hookup. Do you want to have dinner tomorrow night?
Can't wait to see you on Wednesday for dinner. Is that
I'll
a good
buy
time
you dinner
for you?"
Yeah. No. That's the weird, and it's on a random page too. It's not even like
random page. Like, why did he write it down in the first place? They were talking with their mouths.
Yeah.
Right before that.
They didn't know anyone was listening.
It's amazing.
That's how I'm going to communicate with you. I'm just going to like write things down every once in a while and just hold them up to the camera.
That's going to make such a good podcast. I can't wait.
We already have such a good podcast, so I don't know how it could get any better.
Okay. So now, after this, she's like, "I'm going to meet up with you at George's, the restaurant."
Sorry, I just read my note about the baker.
What?
Bakery man, Charles? ? Worst actor in history, but maybe on purpose, and maybe I love him. Maybe the best actor in history. Why is Kelsey wearing pajamas?
Yes.
Did you catch she wore pajamas to the baking lesson?
Yes.
What is that?
I couldn't tell if it was pajamas or like a plaid skirt. I don't know.
No, it was like pants. It was like jammy pants, I thought.
Oh no.
Okay. So then she goes to the restaurant where the private investigator, our hero, lives.
Yes.
And she finds him there, as we knew that she would.
That's right.
All I
Don't worry, Joey Fatone escorts her in.
All right,
Joey Fatone is George. And he is the best thing about this movie.
He is totally self-aware. He understands exactly what is happening. Because Joey Fatone is a Broadway actor. He knows what's going on, and he has made clear choices throughout this entire movie to be hysterical. That's why I think it's self-aware.
Good.
I think it's trying to be bad, because Joey Fatone was clearly trying to be bad.
Joey Fatone is self-aware. All right?
Yeah. And maybe Charles.
Maybe Charles, but I doubt it. Okay. So Joey Fatone is there. He is George of George's. And they have this whole scene where she's like, "Okay, I'll work with you."
Yeah. But first, they look at the menu, and he's like, "I'm going to order for you, because I've had everything here." And she's like, "No. Fuck you. I'm going to order for you. And I'm ordering lobster." And then Joey Fatone comes out and is like, "You sure you want lobster?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want lobster, because that's what she ordered for me." And then nothing ever happens with that. Like, I don't know if the lobster was good or bad. I have no idea why that was a thing.
What? Yes, you do.
No.
Okay, here's what actually happened, HBs.
Oh my God.
So he says, I'll order for you because I've had everything here. And she says, I am at my work job right now. And so as a result, I don't let anybody order for me. Instead, I'm going to order for you. And he's like, okay, I can be accommodating and professional. And Joey Fatone's like, you accommodating and professional? Har, har, har. And then Joey Fatone brings out the meal. She takes one bite of penne. She eats a penne. Then she says, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever had. Have you ever done a wedding before? Joey Fatone is like, no, but I bet I could. She hires him on the spot.
Yeah.
And then she looks at the guy and she's like, why aren't you eating? And he goes, I'm allergic to shellfish, so I'll die.
I totally missed that. I was probably folding a shirt. Listen, I want to add another thing to kind of redeem myself. She orders him the lobster and then looks at Joey Fatone and is like, I'll have whatever smells amazing back there. That is not how you order at a restaurant. I'll have the thing that smells amazing that you're making back in the kitchen.
To be fair, there is literally no one else in this restaurant.
No.
So he could
Why would they already
be making one dish.
But why are they already making something?
Also a great question.
It's not how humans order at restaurants.
So wedding of the century. She hires a guy on the spot who has never cooked in bulk before.
But that penne noodle
was that noodle.
The best noodle.
And then for.
Connor, the hero, says, I own this restaurant. What a big twist. I'm a restaurateur and also a private investigator. Yep. I've got it all.
Okay, so they're going to work together.
Yeah.
And, he still will not tell her who hired him, even though their thing was no secrets.
Right.
Yeah. So, also at this lunch, he's like, I need to find out if they're broke or not, because I think that the groom is after her money. So you need to invite me to a tree trimming party that she is also helping to throw or helping to plan.
Yeah.
So that I can infiltrate the dad's study.
At the groom's house.
His financial information and find out if they are destitute.
Newsflash, guys. If anyone's having a tree trimming party, they're doing fine. They're fine. They're okay. Yeah. They're doing all right. So he shows up with her at this party, and the groom's parents are like, hey, Kelsey, how are you? Thanks for throwing this party. Right. She's not there in advance. She shows up late again.
Yeah, yes. But I also have to back up. Yeah. Because she's waiting for him at the door. She's like, you're late. And he says, only if you look at the clock.
What a joke, guys.
That is an actual line in the movie. And then he's like, okay, I can make this work. I need you to distract them so that I can get up to the study. And she's like, she goes, I need to remind you that I have an actual job I'm doing here. And he says, oh, good. Distract them with your little job. And she's like, you did not just say. She fully all of her spark plugs start going haywire. And she cannot handle it. And then the parents come up. So,
But normally I would be offended by him. But in this situation, he's completely right.
No,
she has not been doing her job
I was not
at
offended
all.
At all.
So
I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, he's just in on the joke that she is not doing a job here at all.
Okay. So we are the
Can I interrupt you for a sec? Because I want to tell you this.
Yeah.
So Mariah Carey, sponsored and quote unquote co-starred in a Lifetime Hallmark style Christmas movie this year. Did you hear this rumor?
No.
Okay, so this was a thing. Mariah Carey is going to be in a Christmas movie. And then she did it. She was in the Christmas movie. She lended her songs to it. And she was a co-star or a cameo. But, and I haven't seen this, I just want to shout this out in case HBs want to hunt this down, because I'm going to immediately after we record this. But all the scenes she's in are clearly different lighting than all the other characters. And she's Vaselined, soft glow. So, like,
oh my God.
clearly she's not even in the room with anybody and has, like, filmed her scenes somewhere else and with, like, probably what was in her contract writer's, like, lighting scheme of, like, only this side of my face and only golden glow and the softening of the camera lens must be, like, at this point. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, that's got to be magic wherever that is.
I'm into it.
Anyway, it just occurred to me because we were talking about how the hero and the heroine were maybe never in the same room, and that just popped in my head, and I wanted to tell you about it. Okay, where were we?
The mom and dad come over, and it doesn't actually matter all that much.
It does a little bit because he introduces himself as her boyfriend.
And
she just goes with it. And it's like, in what world do you think this is not going to get back to Emily, that suddenly I'm dating the ex that broke your heart? And I don't know. I just felt like this was an extreme violation of girl code in a lot of ways.
You know, I don't believe in girl code.
I know, but like you have to at least.
But I understand that people do.
Well, you have to at least say something. If I was going to date, well, not now, obviously, but like in a prior life, if I was going to date somebody that you had dated for a long time and had broken your heart and was now a close friend of yours, I would at least give you a heads up. I wouldn't ask permission, but I would say, hey, Mel, just so you know, me and this guy are dating.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Also, why isn't Emily at this family's tree trimming party?
There? Yeah. It's like, because I immediately thought like, oh, Emily's going to find out about this and she's going to either be pissed or confused or something. And then she's not even there. But you got to assume this news gets back to her in some capacity.
Well, it does, because the cake tasting, they talk about it.
Yeah, but they talk about it in like, hey, I heard you're dating Connor. And it's like, what? You're not going to give her like a little bit of warning? Like, just so you know, we've never discussed it before, but he was the love of my life and broke my heart by just ghosting out. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So here's the notable thing that happens. They go upstairs, or he goes upstairs after really obviously talking to all of the servants,
fair,
wait staff.
I don't know.
It just felt so old world. Like I should call them the service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, he talks to all of them. There is a pregnant one, guys. I'm just throwing that out there. All right. So then he goes upstairs to somehow hack this guy's computer with no hacking skills at all.
None.
He's literally going up there to guess this man's password.
And assuming that his personal finances are like on his desktop and easily accessible, like that he doesn't have a financial planner that's got all that information for him, which you would think.
Yeah,
I don't know about you. My financial information is not on my desktop.
No,
like, no,
me neither. So she follows him upstairs and he's like, watch the door while I do this PI work. And then he's like, wait, actually, you know him better. Why don't you come help me guess this password?
When he opens the computer, he's like, there's a password. It's like, of course there's a password. There's a password on my computer. I have 0 things to protect.
So she guesses it.
No, do not. Because he's all right. The passwords for guys like this are always about how much money they have, which is like, you're trying to prove that they don't have whatever. And she's like, try got it all. And he's like, it worked.
That's the name of his boat. That's the whole thing. Yeah, and he's like, you should do this full time.
Got it all.
They're getting all of the documents off and onto a thumb drive, which happens in less than 30 seconds. And then they hear Mr. Brannigan,
footsteps.
The dude who we're talking about. He's going into his office to get another bottle of something.
Why does he keep bottles of things in his office?
Especially since they're serving champagne.
It's catered.
Like
it's catered.
It would be scotch, if anything, and he's getting another bottle of scotch from his a tree trimming party that just started.
Refrigerator, and it's again catered. You're not going to go get your personal champagne if you run out downstairs. You say to the caterer, "Why don't you have enough? Go get more."
Yeah. Okay, it's amazing.
It's a lot.
So he walks in and she grabs him and they kiss terribly. It is the cringeworthiest
awkwardly. It's very weird.
She's trying to stretch up at him.
Oh, God.
He's trying to like pull away a little bit, and he's totally
It's like
closed-mouthed.
face mashing. Weird. It's weird.
But like not hot like Cary Grant style. It's straight up weird.
No, yeah. No, it's not like old-timey closed mouth smooching. It's oh man, they couldn't get an angle. They kept trying to like re-angle it. It was really bad.
The way that they get, this is the weirdest thing ever, right? You find two people in an off-limits portion of your house where you apparently keep all of your financial information. And they're visibly and terribly making out. The guy's like, these women, you got to keep them happy.
Oh, God, it was so gross.
And Mr. Brannigan's response is like, har, you're right, son. I'm just going to let you keep fucking on my desk.
Yeah, like, it's like, please, I know about doing sex to ladies.
Yeah,
I also
use
do
my giant mahogany desk, man I just met.
Well, that's how we learned that Mr. Brannigan's a melody. Because if you walked in on two people...
I'm sorry.
No.
Get out.
Really?
Yes.
That is not characteristic of you.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is. I am comfortable with my bodily fluids.
Your son's new bride's best friend, cousin, sister. You've known her since birth, probably, or whatever.
No, I don't know.
I don't know how long they've known each other.
There's just a rando dude in a weird part of my house attempting to get his semen on my mahogany desk. Like, nobody gets to spread somebody's legs and put their asshole on my desk and be okay with it. Like, that's what they were trying to do.
I just really felt like you would be cool with it. I just really felt like you'd be like, you know what? Let the love happen.
No, there are so many places you can let the love happen. It does not need to be in a secret portion of my house you were not invited to.
Wow.
Get out of here, you randos, and take your dirty assholes with you. They don't belong on my desk.
They're not randos. She planned this party.
That's even worse. Hello, employee. I would love for you to fuck on my furniture. What? Erin!
I'm not saying it's a rational decision. I'm saying it's the decision I thought you would make.
Oh.
You're the girl that's like doing splits in the backseat of somebody's car.
My bodily fluids with a person I've already fucked. Like, he is obviously cool with my bodily fluids.
Those of you who are new to the podcast, that's not a personal story of Melody's. That's a hypothetical from a book.
That's actually another After We Fall reference, which I think is hilarious.
Well, that's the last like Silver Spoon style book,
It's true.
Okay, so.
Oh, man. Okay.
All right.
So now they're going to a cake tasting a week and a half before the wedding.
Yes.
Shouldn't they already be like mixing the batter
or something? What I didn't understand is
like, shouldn't
they were at the bakery yesterday. Why didn't they do it then? Or why didn't she say, you know what? We'll just do this ruse with the wedding dress lady at the cake testing. Why did she schedule a different gingerbread baking time? I don't know.
Oh, man. It is so good. So basically, my favorite line from here is... cousin is super sweet. She wants to know all the details of their new found romance. And then she's like, I'm always behind you, Kelsey. I'm always behind you. Which is, the lady love there is just something I cannot besmirch.
After this conversation, I wrote the note, Emily : do they even know each other? So I don't know what you're referencing, but in this conversation, I got out of this, these two have never met. They have no chemistry whatsoever.
Well, Emily
They're very cold
says
toward
the
each
phrase, she says the phrase, we dated like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, something a childhood friend, cousin, sister, best friend would know. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Yeah, they've never met before. Okay. So she goes home and she's texting mystery person again because she's feeling really guilty. She's like, Emily is behind me 100% and I'm currently trying to sabotage her wedding like a dick nose. So.
But she's not, though.
But she's not. No. And she's certainly not using the opportunity to sabotage the PI and make this go off without a hitch.
No, I mean, she's trying to fight because she believes at this point that the groom is cheating. So she's trying to get to the bottom of it in the worst ways. I mean, she's trying, but she is not executing.
And she's not telling the private investigator who supposedly has private investigation skills that she thinks this is happening so that he might, I don't know, look into the lady.
Look into it.
Follow him on times where he could be fucking someone else.
Yeah, no.
Like nothing. I mean,
no.
He would have to leave George's for that. Right. I don't think that the groom
loves George's.
He owns that place. So
that penne is incredible.
He gets to live there if he wants.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
so
the
he
next
says
day, they meet at George's.
Yeah, they meet at George's.
Wait, guys, don't worry. There are binoculars on the table at the booth where he is sitting. So you know that he
tools of the trade.
Tools of the trade.
He's got some law books and a stethoscope. That's how you know he's a doctor and a lawyer.
Boy, does he.
Oh, man. So then he says, all right, we're going to follow groom guy for 1 day. Isn't that right? And then
3 days.
3 days. And then we're going to call. Then I've decided I'm going to call it. I'm going to call off this investigation. We're not finding anything. She says nothing about the things that she's found.
Also, it's Wednesday and they just did the cake tasting on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just a little while ago, she was still vision boarding on her bed. The week of the wedding.
Yes.
She was sitting on her bed dreaming up centerpieces that could happen 4 days from now at the Christmas Eve extravaganza of the decade.
I am 7 months out and I am under intense pressure to get my centerpieces together.
Yes.
Okay, so...
I mean, I didn't feel any of that, but that's because we just gave away comics. That was our centerpiece.
The problem is, I have a lot of interest and David has a lot of interest, but we have no shared interests. So we can't make like a theme. There's no themes. Anyway, okay. So he says he's just going to call it off after the following of him for 3 days, which is crazy to me because don't you work for somebody? You can't just call it off. Like, Kelsey can't just be like, you know what? This wedding's pretty hard. I'm going to call it. Like, I'm not going to do it anymore. No, you're a private investigator. Somebody's paying you to find something.
Not to mention that when we know all, he was hired months ago. And he apparently just showed up
for
a week and a half
purpose. He's not looking into any of the things that he was supposed to have been looking into. None of them.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, she texts mystery person some more. Oh, and then there's like this stakeout montage.
No.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. When she texts her mystery person this time, she signs it Kelsey Gumshoe. To signify that she's a private investigator now.
That's true.
And
that happens.
I just can't.
Okay, wait. So during this conversation, the way the conversation starts is she says she's out and he's like, "What?" And she's like, "I know you think I'm dumb." And he's like, "No, I like that you're smart." And then he gestures in the most awkward way possible for her to like sit down. And she says she's only doing it because, quote, "I want to, and I want to know what's on the thumb drive."
Yes. I don't know. What? But wait, my very favorite line is coming up.
Yeah. Is it?
Okay.
I don't.
You keep going. Because I feel like I'm going to miss stuff because I want to get there right now.
No, I hear you. So they try to create some chemistry over a handshake, and they do it with music, background music at the end of this thing.
Yeah.
And they agree to the stakeout. They're like, let's shake on it. And then the music swirls and it falls so completely flat. It's amazing. So then the stakeout montage happens.
Oh, God. I was way ahead of myself. Sorry. My favorite line's at the dinner. I forgot. Okay. Yeah. They're in the stakeout. This is incredible. They see him. All right. So Connor's in the driver's seat. She's in the passenger seat. They see the groom, which is the point of a stakeout, is to watch the person. He tackles her and is like, "Get down. which makes no sense. You're supposed to watch the person, not get down. And then he looks at her and he's like, follow him. And she's like, get off of me.
Yeah,
and he's
I'm not in the driver's seat.
You gotta follow him. And she's like, yeah. That's probably something you should get going on then.
Meanwhile,
Very
just
weird.
FYI, guys, they were far enough away from the groom that they were looking through binoculars moments before.
Yes.
He was like, hurry, get down before he sees you. Because he apparently also has Inspector Gadget binocular eyes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And like, that's not played for laughs where he's like, follow him. And she's like, you're in the driver's seat. Ha ha ha. No, it's like, they're serious. Like, they're serious trying to like work this out. This is a problem that they don't understand. Like, he's on top of her and he's like, we need to follow him. And she's like, you have to get off of me first. And he's like, yeah, right. Like, it's not a joke. It's
I will
problem
say that
solving.
The actress in this is really good at like laughing
good.
through the awkward. I
thought you were
going to
say that she's in on it, and she is not on it.
No, she's absolutely not.
She's beautiful. Her lipstick game is on point, but she is not in on this joke. 100% no.
I've seen her in the Sally Thorne's Flamethrowers group. As you know, people being like, this is exactly how I pictured Lucy. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. If she had much curlier hair.
I thought you were trying to say that the actress was a flamethrower. And my heart went pitter pat. Everything about me got excited. I was like, what? How is this not an immediate text for me? I was both overcome with excitement and also rage. Oh my God, I need to like settle down a little bit. Oh God. Oh man.
Okay. No. They were like, this is how I picture Lucy. And I'm like, yeah, but with a terrible perm or something, you know?
But like also that is how I picture Lucy. But like she needs to have like more talent.
Yeah, she's got to be able to act.
Yeah, I can't. If we get Connor and Kelsey as Josh and Lucy,
oh my God,
that's going to upset me a lot.
So hard.
Yeah.
I will be very upset. Like, everybody needs to shut their mouths about getting this actress as Lucy. Yes. Okay.
Shut your mouths, flamethrowers.
That's right. You shut your whore mouths.
Lock it up. Lock it up. All right.
So Wednesday night happens, the night of the dinner.
This is the dinner with the bride. I keep saying the bride lady. No, the dress lady. The groom and the dress lady. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So the waiter is getting some first date / forbidden love vibes. He brings over Shiraz and an appetizer, and don't worry, a full-on actual candelabra.
I just
he places.
I don't know how he's getting these vibes because I have gotten zero romantic vibes from these two the entire time. This waiter is way more intuitive than we are.
He is, and I don't know where he found that candelabra. Like, I'm sorry I'm stuck on it, but it is a legit, like, and it's not even like a flat menorah looking candelabra. It's like a circular one. Yeah. That sits in the middle of the it's amazing.
This is where she texts the mystery person on the way to the table and signs it Kelsey Gumshoe. And then thinks, what a great private investigator name. I was like, God, you're dumb.
And then he says, oh, love you muchly, because he's just reading her text messages.
She signs everyone. First of all, she signs every one of these text messages. Also, she signs everyone love you muchly. And so he sees that.
And I feel like, okay, so first of all, I'm weird about shit like this. I should really get one of those screen protectors that like nobody can see over my shoulder, because even if it's the most innocuous thing in the whole wide world, I think it's incredibly rude.
Oh, yeah.
To look at somebody else's phone.
Yeah.
So when he's like, oh, you know, just it's a side effect of the PI work.
No.
I wanted her to be like, who the fuck hired you to investigate me, you asshole?
Yeah.
Because that's just you being a nosy dickhead. And if you want to date me, you will not look at my phone ever again.
Also, there's no indication that anyone wants to date anyone at this point.
No, also that. Also that. Okay.
All right. So
they agree that they've hit a dead end. And she's like,
but this is where she tells him who she's texting, right?
Yeah. She opens up about her dead mom.
She's texting her dead mom, and she's also paying her dead mom's phone bill.
Yeah.
So that her dead mom can receive the texts.
Yeah.
I want to be critical of this, but I also know that people grieve in weird ways, so I'm going to stay away from it. However, it is a little bit weird. But he asked, this is my favorite line. Are you ready for it?
Yes, please tell me.
He asks her, well, what about your dad? Where's your dad? And she's like, my dad was never really around that much. Or he took off, or I don't know, derelict dad. He says, yeah, I can't even. I rewound this 3 times. I'm sure this is what I heard, but it's so ridiculous that I'm still unsure of myself, even though like I've seen it several times.
Well, it's about to become canon. So.
All right. He says, yeah, sounds like him.
What?
Your face. How
in what world?
He definitely 100% does not know her dad.
He's not a time traveler.
No. I even feel like I've told you a lot of things about my parents. I feel like if I said something about my dad and you said, yeah, that sounds like him, I would have a question of like, what do you mean? You don't know my dad?
Right.
She just goes on with the conversation and doesn't even say anything about it. She says nothing.
Are you sure he's not talking about her uncle? No, he is talking about her uncle. Because now that I remember the 4 times I've watched
I was going to say, how did you watch it 4 times and not catch this? This is my favorite line. Don't ruin it. He's talking about her dad.
No,
He's talking about her dad. He's talking about her dad.
Okay, yeah.
Good. Guys, okay, he's talking about her uncle, I guess. But it's at least very confusing to where a person could
folding
rewind
clothes
3 times and still think he was talking about her dad and be just flabbergasted by the moment.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally. Okay. So
but wait.
Do you want me to ruin it for you?
No, but wait.
Okay.
Even if she was talking about her uncle and he meant her uncle, which sounds like 100% definitely he did.
A couple of times.
No. Okay. She has no question as to how he knows her uncle?
She knows that they were at least introduced because the jealous bridesmaid was like, Mama and Papa Rich Pants hated him. And they didn't want him to be there. Okay,
never mind. This is a part of the movie that makes complete sense. Poor notes. I took notes for the first time in the history of the podcast. Now they're just pieces on the floor. If you need to replace me on the podcast, I understand. Should I go? This is pretty much the end. I just wanted it to be true.
Sorry. It is true.
Don't you dare edit out all my ripping noises. Don't you dare.
Never would I ever.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So this is where he negs her and he's like, come on, you've been all cute with your demands and your wrinkled nose. And then that time you made out with my face at the party. And she's like, I was acting. That's literally her intonation.
God. Yes.
And you weren't a good kisser. So, which I thought was, boom, sick burn. Yeah.
That is, but also it's not even a sick burn. It's just accurate. Like I watched it live.
What happened.
And it was terrible.
Yeah, it's bad. And then he's like, well, I'd love to try again. She's like, oh, you want to try to redeem yourself? And they're like about to touch hands and get all canoodly. And then
they remember they are here for work.
It's so true. They don't even remember. Like, shop girl walks in.
Was there something we were supposed to be doing tonight?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So she tells him off. She's like, you're cheating. You're a cheater. You're a cheater, McGee. And he's like, Kelsey, I was there for perfectly legitimate reasons that had to be done in person. Mm-hmm. Like, I couldn't just call the shop and give them my credit card number to buy her dress.
Yeah, he's buying her dress.
Yeah.
That was thanks for the hookup. See you for dinner Wednesday.
He's getting a good deal.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's taking her to a thank you dinner
at
the restaurant the shop girl's husband owns. Does that strike you as weird?
It strikes me as shitty. That's somewhere where she could probably get dinner.
She eats for free like all the time. Yeah. I mean, I guess it is technically still her dime because it's coming out of her family business.
I had that note, but I was I was nervous about. I can no longer trust anything I saw. I'm like, I noted that was ridiculous, but did they say it?
Yes, it's apparently the restaurant her husband owns.
But then this whole thing launches where it's like, apparently Connor knew that or something.
No, Connor did no PI work. I mean,
then
granted,
what is
he
this
got no
whole thing
opportunity.
where the groom is like, hey, Connor, like, you clearly set Kelsey up to look like an idiot right now. Like, what is that whole thing? I don't understand it.
I think it's just because he's like, you tricked her into doing your PI-ness, and she has literally none of this wedding planned. So she has been distracted in the 3 days of crunch time before this Saturday Christmas Eve wedding.
She has really nothing to explain the 10 months of nothing before this movie began.
No, not at all. So that's one thing. But yeah, it's basically like, yeah, you embarrassed Kelsey by making her think that I'm a bad dude when I'm not a bad dude. You're the bad dude.
That made her think that. That was so weird. And there was like all this music that was like swirling around, like, oh
yeah,
very dramatic. And
Connor's
it's like,
Connor's like, come on, Kelsey, we should go. And he's like, oh yeah, the second thing you do best other than ruin Wilson women is walk away.
But
and
he's going
and I was
with
just
her,
like,
though.
What's
it was
happening
very
right
weird.
now?
He just needs to leave. Like,
yeah, he just has to go somewhere.
Would he rather that he stay there, like lurking over her table? And also, did they dine and ditch?
I think so.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they didn't eat any of their appetizer, but they still ordered it.
Yes.
Okay. So then she goes over to her aunt's house, and her aunt tells her the rest of the story, which is that
her aunt
Connor
is still wearing something weird on her head again.
Oh, yeah.
Another weird head.
She can't
fastener.
not, Erin.
Very odd.
So she's like, 10 years ago, Connor came to my husband and he was like, give me money and I'll walk away forever. And so my husband gave him all the money. Here's the check stub. And then a couple of months ago, before Albert died, Connor came back and he was like, I want more money.
Yeah.
And Albert said, okay, even though it seems like there's no reason why Albert would feel compelled to do that.
Why did they pay him off in the first? Because they didn't like him?
Yeah, they just wanted to go away, I guess.
Is this like a thing that happens in the world? People paying off boyfriends to leave?
We've never been rich. We don't know. How am I to know what the blue bloods do? What the silver
it's not a thing.
do?
I don't know.
Maybe.
It's happened twice in my romance times in this year.
And then there's an artful shot of them in a plate.
Come on. I don't know what you're going for here, but it's not.
Of them in a plate, and they're sitting there hilariously trying to just emote, and it's not working well.
I didn't notice that.
Okay, so then she confronts him with the check stub, and he's like, I'm sorry, I should have found out who the shop girl was last night. And I was like, yeah, because you're a private investigator who is investigating this man.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have known all of this.
All of these things.
Then there is some really incredibly overwrought emoting on both sides.
It's incredible.
She's like, I never want to see you again. And he's like, Kelsey, brr, gah.
Yeah.
Like, it's beautiful.
And
it is so beautiful.
In this moment, he could have just explained what happened.
No, he couldn't, Erin.
Okay, right.
No, he couldn't.
All right.
She said, I thought we had something special, and I hate myself for being so stupid. And he's like, let me explain. And that's the intonation also. And then she's like, no. So, Erin, he couldn't have explained.
I don't know. You also have to wonder, like, why Kelsey didn't just ask him at any point leading up to this why he ghosted Emily, her best friend's sister cousin.
Why would she want information like that?
I don't know. Never mind. Moving on.
What?
Okay, so it's now the wedding.
Well, wait, yes.
Is that right?
So Connor, no. First, he has to have a heart-to-heart with Joey Fatone.
Oh,
and he's like,
right. Oh my God. Is this on the phone? There's a phone conversation with Joey Fatone that is
Oh no, it's afterwards.
incredible. And it's so clear that it's filmed like in a vacuum because her acting is very bad and his acting is, it's with her. Because her acting was very flat and his acting was very over the top. So whoever, the same person was not doing line readings with both of them to get that phone conversation.
It was amazing.
Nuts. Okay.
Well, no. So, no, don't worry.
Sorry.
Connor seeks out Joey Fatone for advice.
They're
He
best
admits
friends.
that he loves her. And then he says, I feel like I'm a kid at Christmas time. Now, this is after she has fully broken up with him and said she never wants to see him again.
It's more like a
what
kid
kind of Christmas
at Christmas time that like didn't get any presents.
that got coal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Santa
Maybe
straight
that's
up
his
coaled
Christmas
his ass.
experience.
Maybe. I mean, he is pretty naughty, this Connor. All right. And then Joey Fatone is like, tell her the truth, maybe. And he's like, ugh, you're so logical. Okay, now it's wedding time.
Now it's wedding time.
She apologizes to Todd, and then she says that Emily is a lucky woman.
Todd is the
Which,
groom.
again, weird thing to say.
It is
I don't
so...
know.
I don't think there's any circumstance under which I'd say somebody's a very lucky woman.
Not
It's
unless,
so weird.
Well, I would never say that to David about you. I would say that to you about David because I know you well and I love you to pieces. And I know that anybody who hitches themselves to you for the rest of their days is a very lucky person. I would never say, hey, David, Erin is such a lucky woman.
It's basically being like, were circumstances different, I would fuck you. That is what it means. That is what it means.
Weird.
It's very weird. Yes.
Okay. Joey Fatone calls and he's like, we have a problem. Oh, he literally says,
oh God, it's so good. It's so
he's
good.
like, how are you this morning? And she's like, I'm good. I'm really glad that you're so chipper. And he's like, I heard that if you give bad news in a really positive way, people take it better.
Oh, it's so good.
And she's like, what happened? And he's like, the freezer broke. And then her response is to be like, I will come to your place, the caterer, even though I'm a maid of honor who does not know how to use a kitchen.
And I'm planning the wedding.
Which is happening in probably less than an hour.
Yeah. So I'll go to George's.
What?
Like, what is she going to do there?
What is she going to do with that freezer? Is she going to get her handy dandy tools out and fix all of the rotten food?
It makes it even... So this is a ruse to get her there to be able to talk to Connor. And it makes no sense that they were even setting this up as a ruse. I would be like, oh my God, one chance in a million she's actually coming here to deal with this freezer situation.
I would be at 17 other restaurants attempting to get enough food cobbled together in order to make this happen. Like, it's amazing. So she goes, don't worry. Connor tells her that the dad set it up. This is also incredibly convoluted.
I don't understand. I literally wrote down, I don't understand it, and I'm not going back.
He offered... I'm not going back.
I'm not going back.
He offered Connor what Connor thought was a loan to save Georgia's restaurant.
Yeah, that's something that rich people don't get. I understand where people that are from where the hero in Match Me If You Can are from sometimes confuse gifts and loans, but not rich people who do this on, the regular. They clear it up.
Yeah. There's like usually a contract.
Yeah.
So he's like, I thought he was giving me a loan. No. But then the next time I showed up at their house, he was like, you need to get the fuck out of here. Otherwise, I'm going to tell Emily that you blackmailed me into giving you that money.
I don't understand. Also, do they know what blackmail is? Because I didn't understand what that was.
That would then tell his daughter that he apparently did something so wrong that he would pay off her boyfriend, which is
that doesn't make sense.
A way
that's
that
not
I
a
would. Thing. No, that's not the way that I would present that to my daughter.
I honestly forgot. Like, I was sitting there thinking, did I miss the thing that her dad did that was so bad that he had to pay off him to not say? No?
No.
Okay. So there's...
I think that they might, like the script writer might have been attempting to use a synonym for extortion, but instead decided on blackmail.
But that doesn't even make sense. So we're to believe that two adult men had a conversation in which one believed that he was receiving a loan to save a restaurant and the other one believed that he was giving him money to stay away from his daughter?
I think the implication is that the dad allowed him, like he set it up so that it seemed like a loan. And then the next conversation they had after the check cleared, he was like, actually, this is you extorting me. That's going to be the story now. So get the fuck out.
That makes no sense. It would honestly be easier to just murder this guy. Like, honestly, murder would be easier than this complicated plan that Emily's father thought up.
Yeah. So she's like, I don't believe you. I'm never talking to you again. Goodbye. Mm-hmm. And then Preggers McGee walks in the door.
During the ceremony? Wait. So she
walks
leaves
in the restaurant
George's...
Oh. Yes.
Oh.
So she leaves George's.
Oh, okay. Kelsey is gone.
Aunt, have a conversation about how they're punching him in the face or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then Preggers McGee walks in to George's and she's like, I have something to tell you.
Okay.
And so now the wedding starts. It is awkward. Everyone is in bad fur sleeveless jackets, but they're not jackets because their whole shoulder blades are showing. I just have to...
Cold shoulder shrugs, guys.
Yeah. And like, I know that fur is like a winter wedding look, but I just don't understand why they couldn't get 2 minks instead of 1 per person. You know what I mean? Just like a little bit more.
I don't think it was a cost-saving technique. I think it was a style choice.
Okay. Maybe I am not a fashionista. Let's just put that out there for the record. I don't have any legs to stand on here. So if you tell me that it is a look,
listen, guys,
I will believe you.
When Melody and I identify fashion problems in books, it is because they are glaring. So I believe that if this were described in writing as a cold shoulder shrug, it would have been all we talked about for the entire book. Yes. So I'm going to go with this.
Just get like 1 more mink per person is all I'm asking.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. So my note is, I know this is a winter wedding, LEWK in all caps, but I just hated it here. I think because their backs were still super naked, question mark. Like, who am I? Okay. So then we get a stop the wedding. And then we get one of the most beautiful Sherlock Holmes speeches I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. I wrote it out. Can I read it to you?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So he bursts in the door.
Connor. Preggers McGee, right on his heels.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is Veronica, the Brannigan's former maid. And the audience murmurs in the background.
She's Hispanic, don't worry.
Former maid. And after Todd said he doesn't know who that woman is, Connor's like, oh, I think a simple blood test would prove that you do. See, Veronica told Todd that he was going to be a daddy months ago. But instead of buying books and painting the nursery, he decided to ignore her and to get married instead. And the Brannigans so generously kept her employed through the pregnancy until they found out who the father was. Then they did what any good grandparents would do and fired her.
It's good stuff.
Oh my God.
It's like really groundbreaking writing right there.
Now, you want to know what is even more groundbreaking?
What a shitty PI he is?
No. What I'm about to do, because I practiced it.
Oh no.
Are you ready?
I can't wait.
The bride goes to run away, and Todd, the groom, is trying to stop her. An amazing Shakespearean actor that he is. Mm-hmm. He attempts to stop her by going, Emily, Emily, Emily. Go back and listen to that scene.
Do it again.
Because he is a broken robot. Emily, Emily, Emily.
It's perfect.
It is goddamn gorgeous.
At least she can run very well because of that high-low dress she's got going on. She can sprint if she wants to. Yeah.
That's right. She can pump those arms with abandon.
Can we talk about Connor's been investigating
her shoulders are completely and utterly bare. Yeah. There's nothing constricting her.
Uh-huh. Can we talk about Connor's been investigating this man for months? Because
I don't think that he was.
Because the uncle suspected something. And
the uncle just hired him months ago.
This pregnant woman who was fired for having the kid of the son of the was like, what do I do? What do I do? How do I make sure that this is known? Do I go to the wedding? Do I go to the bride? Do I go to the family of the bride and say, look what's in here, the groom's baby? Or do I do research on
I like the idea that she just starts unbuttoning the buttons over her bump, being like, look what's in here.
Pop.
It's the groom's baby.
Yeah. Or she writes like groom's baby on the tummy, like a reveal. No, but like, so then what does she do? She researches who might be privately investigating the groom.
Possibly.
But I don't even know how she would find out that information. Then she somehow gleans that he lives at a restaurant called George's.
No, he talked to her at the tree trimming party. She was one of the pregnant waitstaff.
Okay, fine. But he didn't tell her that he was a private investigator.
No, but he said, if you know anything, I live at George's.
No, he didn't. He did not say I live at George's.
He did not. Always find me at George's.
He did not. He did not. He did not. Emily. He did not. Melody. Okay, I'll give you that. If he had that conversation, but I did not notice it.
Oh, it's amazing.
Still, you wait until...
It's recalculous.
Wait, she was still working there at the tree trimming party 3 days ago? Oh my God. They fired her yesterday?
They fired her yesterday, right before.
Why
they didn't try to keep her happy.
Right before the wedding.
Yes, Brannigans. That makes no sense. You keep the baby mama happy until he marries the other heiress.
Oh my God.
And then you let the chips fall where they may. Or you ship her off somewhere and you keep funding the child's life.
Just murder her. It's so much easier. I don't want to come down to murder so often in this podcast, twice at least. We might get a third one later. But like, I mean, we probably should. I feel like the plans that they put into place are so much more complicated than just doing a murder and covering it up, which is a very complicated thing to do.
It is. It is.
Murder.
Very complicated. Okay. All right. So... she is consoling Kelsey after the party.
Outside where no one can see their breath. And it's not, everyone's just wearing...
No, it's July.
Yeah. It's definitely July.
With snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Again, another extremely cold conversation between two women who have never met.
Except that Kelsey says the phrase, "You are my sister. I would do anything for you." And then I added the note, "Except pay attention to basic life data or plan ahead, which is literally my job."
Yes. But then, okay, so very quickly, so Kelsey says to her, "Hey, I'm so sorry. This is so horrible." The normal things that you would say to your friend. And then Emily pivots to being like, "Well, what about Connor? I heard that..."
Oh, yeah. She goes straight from, "My life is over. I was going to be married. I was going to have kids."
Right.
And Kelsey has to be like, you still got time.
Yeah, you're okay.
And then she's like, "What about your vaginal canal? Are you gonna get that filled
put
some point
in there?
Soon with Connor?"
And then all of a sudden there he is outside the door. And from like 30 feet away at the door, he's like, "Hey." It's like very weird.
It's so good. Okay.
All right, take it, Melody.
So then
I stopped taking notes because I was so over it.
Oh, don't worry. Okay. So he comes out and he tells her that the uncle hired him to investigate Todd. And the uncle said one dirt bag would be the best at finding another dirt bag. And of course she's like, "You're not a dirt bag.
No.
You're like the best guy I've ever known for 2 days." And then he says, "I love you."
Yeah.
And she says, "What are you doing?" as he walks over to her. And he says, "I love you." And she says, you're just walking over to me saying I love you and everything's going to be fine? Like everything's going to be totally cool?
I think that was the actress was like, what are you doing? You're just walking toward me and saying I love you multiple times. Wait, what are you doing? Can we cut this? I'm not sure that this is in the script.
It's amazing. And then they closed mouth kiss like all passionate people do.
But again, not in the old timey way, but it's not
no. There is no Cary Grant in this movie.
No, it's just a face Smash. Very awkward.
And then, okay, I would like to do another dramatic reading for
I would
you.
love it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Melody,
have to.
melody, melody.
Melody. So, okay.
I'm so glad
Here's
your
what
name has
happens.
3 syllables.
So then the aunt and cousin come out, and they're like, and the aunt is like, I'm so sorry that I've completely misjudged you. And he's like, you know, it happens all the time with my face that looks like it got run over on the wrong side of the tracks. And then, sorry, that turned into a lot.
Yeah, it was. I'm like, this can't be the dramatic. There's a part of me that was like, that wasn't the line, was it?
No. So then they're all standing there and they're trying. Okay. So then Kelsey, in her awkward way, is like, well, this is going to be the craziest Christmas in family history. I've successfully planned my first and last wedding ever. It's weird to think when I look back on this day, it's going to be the best and worst memories together.
Flawless line reading. That was flawless.
For real. That's how that happens. I also practiced that. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And then they debate who's going to go tell the guests to get the fuck out. And then he goes, Kels, maybe you want to ask them to stay.
But wait a minute. Can I interject very quickly?
Slowly. Yep.
But wait, I thought you were doing that to me. Melody had her hand up, slowly lowering it to indicate that he was getting down on one knee, and I thought she was telling me to stop talking.
I would never.
I know, but I was like, man, she has some shit to say. No, they're talking about, okay, guys, who's going to go back inside the church and tell everybody that they've got to go home? There's not going to be a wedding today. All right. You are a guest. Imagine HB's Bing Boom Pong time. Imagine with
wedding
Erin.
guests. With
Wedding
Erin
guest
and
role
Melody.
playing with Erin and Melody.
Uh-huh.
You are a wedding guest at this wedding. You were sitting inside the church. You've sacrificed your Christmas Eve to be at this wedding.
Yeah.
What a dick move having a wedding on Christmas Eve. Sorry, HBs, if this is you, but that is a dick move.
It's mean.
I could see circumstances where it would be okay. I'm just going to say that so that whoever had it won't feel bad, but like it's straight a dick move. Anyway, so they've sacrificed their holiday to sit there. During the ceremony, a private investigator / ex-boyfriend of the bride bursts in with a pregnant woman who says the baby is the baby of the groom. The groom shouts at the bride. The bride leaves
Emily.
bride leaves the room. The maid of honor chases after her. The private investigator leaves. The pregnant chick leaves. The groom flees. The groom's family flees. Do you need to be told that there's not going to be a wedding today? Are you still sitting in your pew, patiently waiting for them to come back
begin again?
I just love that they had this conversation where they're like, should we tell them that the wedding's off?
The big
that
reveal.
they can go home. Like at this point, I have already left 100%. There's no way I'm still sitting in there.
I have left to make popcorn.
To see, no one's coming back. There's no way I think anyone's coming back.
Yeah, the only reason I would leave my seat is to like get to a window that is closer to one of the people so that I can see like the aftermath.
Yeah, I'm outside
You know what I mean?
watching the arguments that are transpiring. Anyway, okay, so Connor.
And the best part about this whole thing is that they're talking about the guests in the ceremony. And what we haven't really told anybody is that apparently the ceremony was supposed to be really exclusive of like friend, like very close family only.
Sure.
And then the reception was supposed to be like 250 or 300 people. So they're not talking about attempting to tell all of those people that there's going to be no reception.
No, they're just talking about the people
who
inside
just
the church.
Witness the drama.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
All right, so Connor slowly lowering like Melody's hand.
Lowering down.
And he's on one knee and he says...
And she's like, what are you doing? We just met each other.
Yeah.
And he says, I want to spend a lifetime fixing that.
What a great proposal.
As if meeting each other isn't already fixed by meeting each other. Oh my God.
But I just think this is thrifty.
Even better.
He's like, I need a wife. She's pretty. Yeah. This is a wedding I don't have to pay for.
Yeah.
Thriftiness.
It is. It's true. It's true. And then she says, we barely know each other. He doesn't acknowledge this at all, and instead looks around on the frozen ground going, until the aunt throws him her wedding ring. I had no idea I thought he was like, oh, she's rejecting me. I'm gonna until she fills the silence. But no, he was looking on the frozen ground for a ring, apparently.
Yes.
Or inspiration? I don't know. He gets the ring from the aunt. And then he goes, okay, wait. And then her inner monologue, are you ready? She says, there are times in our lives when we simply must take control, not give in to silly ideas or romantic notions that love conquers all. We have to be grown-ups. And that is a sentence that leads her to marry a man she met a week ago. She's being such a grown-up, Erin. I don't know if the line is supposed to be sarcastic and the actress didn't realize
I don't know.
it.
That's why I feel like we're being trolled by Netflix. That's why I feel like this is a troll move.
That
because that line is immediately before the wedding where, guys, she dons the Wilson wedding dress, the traditional one that they had just in case. And then, they do another terrible smooch at the altar, and there it is. Merry Christmas.
Also, where can you get legally married without first having a marriage license? Is there anywhere? Because at least in Vegas, you have to.
No, they're not legally married. No, they're just smooching. They're just Jesus marrying. They're just getting married before God.
Okay. But don't you have to do that in order? Don't they have to have another small ceremony now?
Yeah. So rest assured, guys, at least they're not legally married.
So true.
Everyone can sleep tonight. Not worried about them.
The post-movie scene is them going into... There's a post-movie scene.
What?
Yeah. Where they go into a honeymoon suite and she kisses him and then she boop kisses him. Wait, does anybody else know what that is? Do you know what a boop kiss is?
No,
and I made up?
I feel like I don't like it. Whatever it is, it doesn't sound good. Unless it has to do with the dog, I don't want it.
Actually, it has to do with my child. I used to play the boop your nose game with Ember, and so I'd boop him, and then he would go and make the noise or whatever. So I started calling what people traditionally call Eskimo kisses boop kisses.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So yeah, they do that because that is what I would do right before consummating my marriage.
Wow.
There's nothing hot and sexier than a boop kiss.
Yeah. Wow. Cool.
Maybe a butterfly kiss.
Ugh. Those are so much weirder. Those are so much weirder. You doing that right now, Melody trying to butterfly. Oh God.
I'm just winking.
You need to have the faces. Yeah. You need to have the faces together to not just look like you're having a stroke. Oh.
You guys, Christmas wedding planner. Yeah. Was one of the best things I've ever experienced in my life.
It was
for all
so
of the aforementioned
terrible
reasons. Yeah. Erin, do you have a lady love other than get yourself a Netflix subscription and watch this ASAP?
That would not be my lady love. So I don't want you to say that I have one other than that because it's not. I say stay away from this at all costs. Go watch The Spirit of Christmas or whatever. Are you frozen or is that just your face right now?
It's just my face.
Oh my God. Do not cut that. Do not cut that. I was sitting here,
my brother,
looking at you and just be like, what a weird face Melody got frozen in. And then I saw you move just slightly to breathe. And I realized that's just, wow.
I was full on open mouth Cheshire cat smiling because my brother just sent me the most amazing picture. You know how the cultists have decided that the Maybelline Superstay Matte is our cult lipstick. I did not decide this.
Fuck you.
Erin's so bitter.
Fuck off.
But anyway, I just got a picture
How dare
of my
you
brother.
Say they decided. They're decided.
They did.
I don't know that they did.
I didn't make a mandate. You certainly didn't make a mandate. You would never. All right. So I just got a picture from my brother that is him, his girlfriend, and another dude friend all wearing the cult lipstick.
Oh, he looks beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous? I'm going to tell him to post it on the cult as soon as possible. Oh, man.
So when you say that they're wearing the cult lipstick, do you mean Bare Minerals matte Bare Pro?
Not that one.
I swear to God.
Erin, what's your lady love?
Guys, if you like Melody better than me, you can just say it to my face, okay? You don't need to we just think this lipstick is better or whatever, and like it's cheaper and has better staying power. Like you can just say it to my fucking face, you guys. You can just say it. You just post on the cult. No. We like Melody better.
Oh no, I'm
Do not cut that. Do not cut it. Do not. Sometimes I say very mean and bitter things, and I'm like, you know what? Cut that. No, not this time.
Erin, you're the one who's editing this episode. You're in charge.
Yeah,
here.
You're right. I'm going to say it again in parcel tongue.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Now I'm really peeing.
You didn't understand it. Little Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuffs don't understand that. We only speak Badger.
Say it to my face. And then I'm going to remove you all from the cult. And I'm just going to have a cult that's just me, Erin, alone, my lipstick. Oh, I need a lady love. What could it possibly be? What do I need? What do I do? It's got to be Christmassy, right?
Does it have to be?
I don't know.
Okay, I have a couple of lady loves if people want them. There are two things that one is something I discovered before the wedding that I officiated, and the other is actually a recommendation from Cat C in the cult. So, if I'm going to try to make this holiday related.
Okay.
If you've got a couple of holiday parties, or maybe as you're looking forward to New Year's Eve, the time when you're supposed to get drunk and still look beautiful for 12 hours, I just discovered makeup setting spray. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know this stuff existed.
Oh, yeah.
But I love it because now, like, even when I'm just wearing lotion, I'll spritz a little bit on so that the lotion doesn't like melt into my eyes at some point during the day.
That's a problem you have?
Yeah.
It drips into your eyes?
No. It doesn't. It's like I just have really sensitive eyes. And so if anything happens and the lotion gets like near my eyeballs, mm-hmm. I am in so much pain. So yeah, makeup setting spray. That's a crazy thing mm-hmm. that I didn't know existed. And then my other one is the makeup eraser.
What's that?
My God. It's another magic piece of equipment where even if you're wearing just like waterproof everything, you put water on this cloth that is called the makeup eraser. Mm-hmm. And you can gently, in circular motions, get all of the shit off of your face. It even takes off the Maybelline Super Stay matte ink.
And it's disposable?
No, so you wash it.
Oh, it's like a
microfiber towel
for permanent.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's also really environmentally friendly because you can wash it like up to 1,000 times and it gets everything off of your face. It's incredible. Like no oil or anything to get the lipstick off my face. Just water and this makeup eraser. And it takes everything off. It's nuts. So those are my two lady loves.
Have I talked about leeks lately? I feel like I have.
Leeks?
Yeah. Leeks, the vegetable. I've just thought about talking about leeks lately. Throughout the week, I will have many times where I'm like, ooh, that's it. That's going to be my lady love. And then what I do is I don't write it down. And then I don't remember it. You guys, leek soup is just the most... Have you made leek soup before?
No.
It's just leeks. Just leeks. You can put a potato in or a butternut squash or some kind of like starch. But you can make just leek soup. It's so good. And it just makes your whole body happy and warm. It's so great. Leek soup. That's what I'm going to say.
That's really love. I like it. I love it. All right, cool. You can find us on all the places. On Instagram, it's at Heaving Bosoms. Twitter is at Heaving_Bosoms. Facebook is Heaving Bosoms Podcast. We have an amazing closed Facebook group called the Heaving Bosoms Podcast Geriatric Friendship Cult that is the happiest place on the internet. You can also email us at heavingbosomespodcast@gmail.com. We love, love, love hearing from you and interfacing with you on all the things.
And if you want to hear bonus Christmas content,
yeah,
join our Patreon and you can hear that. And also at different levels, get little gifts from us throughout the year.
Yeah.
All right.
So keep being a badass.
Oh my God, there's so much to choose from.
Love yourself as much as you love Emily.
More than he loved Emily.
Yes.
Because he didn't. He had sex with that other lady. Love yourself as much as I love Melody, which is so much. Right.
Oh, man. All right. I love you tons.
I love you.
And I will chat to you soon.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, you. Yes, listener, you. Are you loving the show? If so, please leave a rating and review in your podcast app. The 90 seconds you take to say something nice not only helps new people find the show, but it makes me super smile over at HBHQ. Also, I've had a few people ask, and the answer is yes. We are still doing the 5-star bribe. If you leave us a review with 5 stars, then we'll do whatever book you want. We're real deep into the list, though, so it might be a while. Lilas! Okay, back to the show.